This is Wealth Principle 44. Systemize your business so it works without you. And you might have a soccer game. What's up, brother?
I appreciate the handoff. It's too cold for soccer, but it's never not cold enough for basketball, which is happening today. Tip-off starts. I love this lesson and systemize your business. It's actually something I've been working on all year with Terry. In our private coaching, and it's funny. I want to tell just like a story that's like an example of systemizing, but it also ties together with wealth principle. Let's see, 25, which is the power of outsourcing. So about 3-4 months ago, when we had that power of outsourcing, I had found out we were going to be hosting. I'm a president of a nonprofit in my volunteer life, and we host a big sort of tree lighting in our town square, and it's a huge community event. And we weren't able to do it last year because of the pandemic, and it's coming back this year. And when I had somebody describe to me and explain to me the logistics of what had to happen to make, getting the DPW department involved, getting the police involved to shut the streets down, decorating the square, all these different. I thought to myself, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. And I heard this power of outsourcing. We were on this call, and I said to my board, I said, how are we going to outsource this? And one of my board members said, why don't we hire an event planner? And I said, fantastic. We found an event planner, and this event planner took over the whole. She made all of the stress go away. It was amazing, and she dealt with all of the town people, everybody that we had to deal with. We gave her a list of sponsors. She went out and sold the sponsorship. She got everything done, and all I had to do was walk up on stage, give a little speech, and welcome Santa Claus, which was about probably the most exciting thing in front of 1,700 people. And that is the power of outsourcing. But the power of systemizing is that event planner has created a playbook all along for us, so that next year, all the clunky things and mistakes that we made will never be made again, because it's documented. And like that example, like I'm doing that in my business now. But just to watch it from like kind of a little bit outside, it was just like such a powerful thing. And I'm on such a high from last night that I felt like I had to talk about it. So anyway,
let's give Ryan McDermott a round of applause. 1,700 people. That's a pretty good night. And Ryan, it reminds me of the 100 Millionaire Summit. Who was at the 100 Millionaire Summit? Who was there this year? That was completely run by Dorina. I did very, very little with that. All I did was answer a couple questions. Yes, I would like the logo to be that color. Yes, I want it bigger, please. If we can make the stage bigger, if we can make the signs bigger. It was very, very easy because she put it all together. And just like Ryan just said, everything was, babe, make sure you write it down. Any problem that came up, I was like, write it down. I want to systemize this. Put this in a document somewhere. I want to know what vendors we used. How did we use them? What were their names? How do we operate? What did they pay? What did they charge? What options did they give us for next year? So maybe we go a little bit bigger. And I want to know what didn't work. If it didn't work, I want a system around it. You and I are going to, after the summit, talk about why didn't this work? What could we have changed? I want systems so that next year when we go into this, because last night I got a video from one of my guys who'd like to see the trailer from the summit. We just got our video back. Who'd like to see it? Yes? All right. Okay. I will show you this. And this was because we had taken the forethought and said, let's have somebody else go and record for us. This actually may be a sales pitch. Hold on. Send it to Dorina. Here we go. You guys ready? You sure? Yeah? Let's do this. Can you hear it?
So the 100 Millionaire Summit was badass.
I think the event's been amazing. There's There's been so much power.
I'm so blessed and so humbled and so grateful to be here at this amazing summit.
Very motivational. So many nuggets.
What a pleasure to be able to come to this event with Gualter and the whole team of alchemists.
I was so impressed with everything that I heard and everything that I learned.
I knew it would be about, real estate, investing and all that good stuff. And when I got here, the way that they're going over, trying to fix your mindset, trying to stay positive and, really just try to help everybody grow. You can tell that they really care about all of us.
Definitely feel more motivated to hold myself accountable for goals that I've procrastinated and that I put off.
So far the event has been pretty amazing.
The event so far, awesome.
I came here wanting to create a plan for my business.
I feel motivated. He's got me concentrated and liberated, and I can't wait to get back home and apply everything that I've learned.
The caliber of people has been very good. It's been very diverse as well.
Phenomenal people, all good people. They just radiate, positive vibes.
We're just watching these relationships grow and business deals just happening and relationships forming. It's extraordinary.
Crazy, amazing people. The community is something like no other.
I feel like this whole community is just amazing because everybody's just open arms and willing to help.
The skill set, the knowledge, the subject area of the coaches, you couldn't ask for anything more.
I mean, you can tell these people are bonded to one another.
Gualter and the whole team is amazing.
Gualter Amarillo.
Gualter's amazing. I talk to Gualter every day.
Gualter, I think, is crazy, but in a good way.
I just think he's an amazing person and that he's heart-centered and he's all about connection.
You go through life in everything you do, and you do it from here.
Oh my God, you just fall in love with him, and with him by your side to guide you, you're going to be able to accomplish anything you want.
The other coaches are just amazing. I learned so much from them. What's so cool is that everybody has their own unique style, their own way, their own process, and there's something for everybody.
Ryan's awesome. You can't normally find a financial advisor that, has the understanding of real estate investing.
Why should we think any other way about our wealth than that? Yet, this 4% rule dominates financial advice.
I think they're all amazing, especially tonight, having Heidi talk. I never met her before, and blew my mind.
It's simple, but it's not easy. So these 3 questions, I really want you to take out a journal, and I want you to answer them. I want you to be like, oh, that's a cute question. That's good. No, write it down. Answer it. Think about it.
The gaggle of coaches that are on board are phenomenal. Obviously Terry Wager and Christine.
Dorina's amazing. I love Dorina. She does the events. You don't have to speak more about her.
Mike Shine is just like the biggest sweetheart in the world, and the way that he was able to warm everybody's heart and deliver a powerful message. I mean, Mitch Durfee, hello.
For me, it's something that allowed me to be able to flip 6 houses at a time. New LLC, new credit card, interest-free, boom.
It's really amazing the amount of knowledge these trainers have and how many people want to really help you. It's an unbelievable community.
So now if you find rooms like this one, the resources are built, resources are there, and the support is endless.
Who here knows that when you leave these doors, you have a big commitment with yourself? There's a lot of work to do. Yes. I have pushed nobody harder than I have pushed you this weekend. And I intend to continue to push you to make sure that you're successful. Let's give everybody who's at the 100 Millionaires Summit a round of applause. Awesome. Awesome. Was that fun?
Amazing. Oh my God.
Came out okay, didn't it?
Wow.
Again, automated. I have an amazing team. Who remembers all the camera guys who are running around? Jared sent me that at 3 o'clock this morning. And obviously I was awake and I texted him back. Thank you. I can't believe you're working on it this late. He texted me at midnight, said, man, I'm going to get it to you tonight. I promise. And he texted me at 1, said I'm still at it. Texted me at 2, said I'm still going. And at 3 o'clock, he was able to send it over. An amazing team, people who are willing to outwork you, people who are willing to do more than you ask them to. That's what I'm talking about. So Ryan, when you mentioned event, it just reminded me of our event. So let's give all of our coaches, all of our students, everybody who was at the summit, just a round of applause. It was absolutely amazing. What a cool experience. Life transforming, business expanding, partnerships made. Dr. Terry Wager, you're up.
Automation is such an important piece, because when we can walk away from our business, we can really see that it is a business. Otherwise, it's a practice. And I had a psychology practice for years, and if I wasn't there, it wasn't running. I had to learn how to give up control. I had to learn how to trust other people. And really, more than anything, I had to learn how to communicate what I wanted and what my vision was in order to have the automation work the way I wanted it to. I had one of my first clients when I moved into consulting and coaching was a guy named Ted. He owned a law practice, and he was bringing home about $5,000 a month, and that's not how lawyers are supposed to be. And when I started talking to him about what was going on, he couldn't collect money. He couldn't answer the phone and do the work. And he found himself answering the phone more than doing work. He didn't know how to hire people. He didn't know how to actually encourage them to move into what they needed to do. And he was answering questions constantly, no matter what was going on. Work wasn't getting done. And so we really started looking at what can be automated right away, what he doesn't need to do, what he does need to do. And within about 6 months, he started making more money because he automated all his processes, and he hired his first lawyer. Within a year, he broke the 6 figures. And then within a second year, he was breaking 6 figures a month. And so the power of automation really starts with the responsibility to realize what you can do and what you shouldn't be doing, and really starting to get those processes down. And one of the things I saw in the chat today was people talking about different softwares. And I find that that's one of the biggest mistakes people make, is they start looking for softwares instead of writing their processes down or recording their processes. Quit looking for the software and just get the process down. There's plenty of software out there. Pick one and use it. But get the process down and then start refining the processes. And that's one of the things that I am so impressed with Gualter about, is he works on just getting processes done. And when you start doing that, and he's pushed me to process a lot of the things that I do. And that's one of the things I really love about the coaches, is we all start stepping up together when we're working together as a team. And that's what we see about the Alchemist community, is we're all moving into much more of a process. And one of the biggest things that I find when we're looking at this is it's not just the automation, but it's the relationships we create, because we can have time for each other when we do the automation. So that's my takeaway.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. I don't know if you heard it, but that's a bomb right there. That's a golden nugget, right? We're alchemists. We're here creating gold out of nothing. What he just said were words that were so valuable to your future, is the relationships, the people. It's the systems and the processes that allow you to get more people, the right people. I got on a phone call last night with somebody who I met at Frank McKinney's event that I never would have gone to if I had listened to myself, because myself didn't want to drive 3 hours across the country, or I didn't want to jump on a plane to go to the other side of the state. I'm sorry, the state, Florida. But I listen to what my system is, what my process is. If there are going to be a bunch of high net worth individuals and I have an opportunity to be there, I will. I just show up. And then when I show up, I'm professional, I'm charismatic, I'm entertaining, and I'm grabbing contacts. And last night was no different. I didn't want to drive the 2 hours to Orlando at 8 o'clock at night to connect with people. In fact, I thought maybe it would be a waste of my time. Everything about my mind said, stay home, enjoy time in front of the computer doing something, or with Dorina. But I got in the car And last night I connected with two gentlemen who've been on the Bigger Pockets podcast, which is one of my goals, to get on the Bigger Pockets podcast. Imagine if I'd trusted myself. And I'm the guru, right? I'm the smart guy who's got all the millions in this community. We can't trust what happens up here. We need a system and a process to make money. My system works. Get your butt in front of people who have money or people who have what you want. And then once you're there, more systems fire off, more processes fire off of smile when you see somebody, make eye contact, shake hands with respect and with authority at the same time, communicate about them, listen, and then offer an opportunity, find a way to add value one time, not, oh, what can I do for you? What can I do? I don't ask, what can I do for you? Unless I believe it's actually going to get me real information. There are systems once I'm there. There are systems to get my butt there. And there are systems for follow-up afterwards. That's the camera if you're catching this. This all makes sense? Awesome. Excellent. So don't trust yourself sometimes. Just do what the system says. And then when you find those people, hold on to them. They're the most valuable asset you'll have. Coach Heidi, I love your smile this morning. It's so good to see you on here. Where's Doug today? I don't see him.
Doug is with Frank McKinney. They're on the road on his book tour.
Oh, okay. Now I'm super jealous.
City. Yeah, he flew out to meet him in Denver, and I don't know. I think they're in Georgia or Alabama. I don't know where they are. Shh, my dog. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Hi guys. How are you? Ryan, did you like my shout out? Hey. Okay, so what's up? What am I answering?
So Heidi, if you could go and say, because you automate coaches all the time, you give trainers, coaches the ability to run their own coaching practice. What would be your biggest tip to somebody who's looking to automate? What is one of the pieces of advice that you give to coaches all the time in your business to automate or systemize their business so it works better without them?
So a lot of people actually don't know that they have a system. And that's step one. So we don't even realize we have a system so anytime I've ever gone through anything in my life that's hard, I see it as a blessing because I take out a journal and I'm obsessed. I've got like tons of these, leather bound, and I say, okay, I have a situation in my life. What are the steps that I took to get over this? And that's really the first thing. You can't really do anything else unless you actually know what the system is. And you have a system to do anything. It's just, there's a process to absolutely everything. And people like that. People like to know, okay, this is step one, this is step two. This is why the mentorship is so great. This is why Alchemist University is so great. It's somebody took the time to document, like you said, this is how I do it. So we can't underestimate that. Documenting what our systems are. What I love what you said, and this is like on the heels, I met with my coach yesterday and had like a 4-hour VIP day. My mind was blown. And it's like, get yourself in front of the people with money. That's actually the most important thing. Like just today, that you're not here to like talk to the masses, or like you're here to talk to the few people or the people that are picking up what you're laying down and are able to invest in you or partner with you. And we waste so much energy and time with that ego, getting the likes or getting the eyeballs or people knowing what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter how many people are seeing you. It's like, are the right people there? You can fill a room, but are the right people in the room? That's two totally different things. So I don't know. That's just for me. I changed my whole marketing today. I was like, you know what? I'm not wording this right because I'm getting leads that are like, no, I'm broke, but I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to meet you. No, honey, I'm not just getting on camera, just go, hi, here I am. Hi, no, I love you. Watch my free stuff. But, I'm here to have a business. I have a business that I'm running. I'm not here to just make a bunch of friendships. I'm trying to make change in somebody's life, and that requires an exchange. So I'm just kind of fired up because yesterday I had this big talk and I was like, hell yeah. And Terry's got the hell yeah sign. I'm like, so when you said that, it really struck a chord with me.
Let's give Heidi Rain
but
A round of applause. She is absolutely amazing. One of the highly rated speakers at the summit. Obviously, she made it to the video, and that's
who
true.
made it to the video status?
Hell yeah. And it's true. In your business, there are people who pay more, right? I say it all the time. My Facebook following, my Facebook posts, those are a relationship builder for the people who have met me and who are out there. And it's also free, right? So that the people who are there consuming content, they're engaging with me, but typically they're not the ones that paid me. Many of you have actually paid me. So give yourselves a round of applause. I love the relationship, right? True friends pay each other. I spend as much money with my friends as often. If we're out drinking, if we're out eating, I'm paying for it. If we're out and we're doing a deal together, I'm hoping they're getting paid on the deal. If I'm involved, my friends are getting paid, right? That's why me and Mike Shine are so close. We close so many deals. He's my attorney. I like to be able to pay my friends. That's why we're friends, right? It's like, that's me saying I love you. Like, I appreciate you. Thank you. Like this is paying it forward. My grandfather used to pay me if I helped him out around that building, right? He owned a 3-family. If I went out there and I did some work, he'd pay me. And I tell him, Dad, like Vavu, why? And he said, oh, because you'll never see me take money from my family. In fact, you'll always see me give. My family, if you work with me, you make something. Does that make sense? Now, some people are not going to value you. They're not going to value your business. Most people won't. Move on. Move on. It's okay. I was on okay. So Heidi just dropped that she's got coaches, and Terry has coaches. I was in a mastermind this week. Who'd like to hear about meeting a billionaire? Who interested in meeting a billionaire? Okay. So his name is Rami, and I can't remember his last name, but I have the book he wrote, and I'm going to go and do some research on him and read his book. But I asked the question, I said, hey, what is the secret to getting to that person, that billionaire? Because he met a billionaire when he was 20 years old or 19 years old, a guy who was worth $4 billion out in Saudi Arabia. And he meets him and changes his entire life. He then later on becomes a billionaire. And he became a millionaire at 19 years old. Hence the camera, if you know, billionaires can make millionaires. Doesn't take much, right? Small little effort. Hey, here's one idea. Yeah, sure. Here's some support. Here's connections. Go ahead and do this. A billionaire has much higher leverage than a millionaire. And so his whole principle was, well, I made friends with the gatekeeper. That's what I did. And it took me a year. I worked for free for this guy. He didn't know, but the gatekeeper knew that I was working for free for this guy. And so a year later, I had an opportunity to meet him. In that opportunity, I scored it because I wanted it so bad. I wanted to be a business partner of his. I wanted to work with him. And so in that moment, he gave me a chance. I took it and I did everything to make it work. Because that whole year I had been obsessed over how do I add value? How do I add value? How do I work with this guy? Like whatever it's going to take. And he said, that's all I did. And so when the opportunity came, I crushed it. Everything else is from there. Just life just kept moving faster. Speed to action. So it may be a little slow at first, but you've got to target somebody who has money. And I had the conversation with Ron this week. I said, Ben, like, who's our client? Who's going to buy us out? We said Amazon. So now we're building a product that Amazon would desire, right? It'll take us some time, take us some years. But when you have something so big, so important in your life, find the person who could be the buyer. Find somebody who can support that mission, support that goal. Who else, right? Maybe Zuckerberg, right? It'll be Zuckerberg or Bezos or Elon. But the idea is we want to scale out education across the entire planet. So you can't do it by yourself. You need a big partner. Does that make sense? Something along those lines. You want to scale, do big things. That's when partnerships make sense. You don't want to make a lot of money, do it by yourself. Absolutely. You don't need systems if you want to make, if you want to make 50 grand, you don't freaking need systems. Just show up and do stuff. Random shit will make you 50 grand. You want to make $500,000, you're gonna need systems. You're gonna need a team. You want to make $1 million, you're definitely gonna need a team. You definitely need partners.
Something that just came to mind when Heidi was talking, and it was kind of like mind-blowing for me, is we're already all doing processes. We're pattern people. We live in processes. The problem is we're so unaware of our process that we're doing that we get in our way and we sabotage ourselves. And so what we're really talking about is becoming intentional about the processes you're using. I do things very, very similar all day, every day. But if I'm not really paying attention to them and I'm not actually putting what I want to be doing into my routine, writing it down, I'm going to fall back to some kind of comfortable habit process that causes me to get in my own way. And then I slow down. And so this is the biggest piece, I think, with what Gualter's talking about today and what we're all talking about today with processes is systematizing, automatizing is really getting intentional about how you do what you do so you can do it faster and then automate what you want instead of live with what automated.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager and Heidi a round of applause. Darina, you're up. So you talk about the queen of systems. This woman has automations on automations. She's training people. It's absolutely fantastic. Since I brought her into my life, just 10x, big explosions. So Darina.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. No, I grew up looking up words because English is my, and I wanted to.
Hold on, you just muted your own microphone. Say that again.
Oh. What I was saying is that I grew up looking for words and looking up into the dictionary of what words mean. And I had to do it with systemizing as well. And really systemizing means to arrange in the chord with a definite plan. So yes, if you're playing small, there's no plan. There's no plan, it's day-to-day tasks. And I recognize that a lot of times I spend in just administrative work and I seem so busy and I just had to take care of so many things, and I was not saying no to small things because those are the ones that were keeping us small. So knowing where you're going, that's, in my opinion, the first step. Like, how's your business look like? How is your community look like? What is $250,000 look like to you? Who is involved? How do you track them? What do you tell them? How do you train? And speaking of Summit, I do have systems now, but when we were going into the Summit this year, aiming for 200 people, we were creating systems as we were going through it because we knew the plan, we knew what we wanted to get to. And now we are creating systems as we are aiming for 1,000 people. So it's an ongoing process and it's okay to tweak, to adjust, to edit, but please record everything, know where you're going, have a crystal clear clarity. 2022, how does that look for you? Where is your business gonna be? Who's gonna be involved? And create systems along the way. Don't trust your brain that it's gonna remember stuff. It's not going to. And in fact, as Gualter was networking with a bunch of people yesterday at the Roadscliff event, I was literally going through my conversations with VAs because we're training VAs right now, and whatever questions they have now, the next VA will have the same questions. And then the next VA will have the same questions. So I already know, okay, this is what they're gonna ask. Let me put that in the system. Let me speed up the process of getting them successful because I have the system now. So that's my basic way. It's super, super important. Just if you want to scale, record everything as you go and know where you're going.
Man, I am so attracted to this girl. She talks about systems and all the problems I'll never have. Let's give her a round of applause. She's absolutely amazing. That is, so her goal, who would like to know how I plan to put 1,000 people into the room next year? We put 100 people in the room this year. The goal, okay, excellent. So 1,000 people in the room is a 10x goal. Who knows that it would be difficult for them as an individual to put even 100 people in the room? Has anybody ever tried to put 100 people in the room? We're talking family and friends are a pain in the butt to do, right? Try a wedding, right? You got to literally tell them everything's free. I'm paying for everything. So 1,000 people in the room means, for one, you got to have 1,000 contacts. I talked to Darina and I put a plan. We did exactly what we're talking about today. Put a plan in place, set a goal, put a plan. And I said, the only way to get there is we have to have 100 virtual assistants with 100,000 people in deep relationship. That means one VA only gets 1,000 people. And that means throughout an entire month, they're going to talk to them at least once or twice and have that kind of deep conversation, find out what's going on, keep a pulse on people. I can't personally do that. I can't stay in touch with 100,000 people, but my goal is 100,000 followers. I need 100,000 people in my community for me to feel like we're making some sort of impact this time next year. How do I do that? I can't do it by myself. How would I do it if it was me though? How would I grab 1,000 people and keep deep relationships? I'd be texting them. I'd be reaching out to them. I'd find people who have like-minded like concepts, whose income level is where it needs to be in order to get to the next level, the level that I'm looking to create in 3 to 5 years. And then we just scaled it. We said, okay, Darina, I want you to hire 2 to 3 virtual assistants per week for the next 52 weeks. And I want you to fire somebody every week. I want you to let somebody go every single week, 2 to 3 VAs, bring on every week. And I want you to fire somebody every week because I want the cream of the crop at the end of this. At the end of this, I don't want anybody who's dropping the ball, who isn't committed, who isn't building deep relationships, who isn't, heart-centered, who isn't listening to our clients and our community that we're building. Hands to the camera if you know there have to be standards. There have to be standards involved. Absolutely. Let's give Darina one more round of applause. I want to open up to questions, but a reminder, we do have our mastermind starts at 12 o'clock today. So the mastermind, everybody who is in Alchemist Mastery, make sure that you have your one question that is stopping you from making your extra million. For many of you are already millionaires. And for those of you who haven't made the million yet, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? What's the big resistance around $1 million this month? What's stopping you? Whether this is a contact you're missing, a lender, a deal you're missing, evaluating a deal, or if you're recognizing today after this conversation, your systems aren't in place, we're going to take a deep look into your business, what's going on for everybody in the mastermind. Show up at 12, go get some food now. Do not show up hungry. Do not be, it's your turn, you're chewing food. So let's go get some food in. And we start sharp at 12. We're going to make this an efficient one, but if it does need to go longer, we'll make it longer. The idea is serve you, move you forward. Whatever's stopping you in your business, bring that question to us. Yes, thank you, Darina. And Darina just reminded me that Heidi's workshop is Monday. So if you haven't already signed up, so Alchemist Mastery, you know about it. You guys are there 6 o'clock on Monday. And for anybody who hasn't signed up and wants to learn about self-sabotage, who'd like for Heidi to give us just a little bit of an overview on what she's going to be talking about Monday? Excellent. Excellent. And then Darina, can you drop the link? So if anybody wants to be able to jump into this while Heidi's talking, Heidi, take it away.
Yeah. Hey, Desiree, it's good to see you, hon. It's good to see you. I hope to see you tomorrow night as well. And a lot of you tomorrow night as well, but I haven't talked to Desiree, so it's good to see your face. What we're going to be talking about is if you have a relationship of any kind in your life that causes you anxiety, confusion, resentment, or pain, that holds you back from really following your dreams, doing the damn thing. And that relationship can be in the past, it could be a voice in your head that prevents you. People that self-sabotage do it in a myriad of ways, but it really boils down to what we believe about our ability, what we believe about life, what we believe about relationships, what we believe about money. And in the workshop, we're going to uncover that, whatever limits that you might be unknowingly living out. If you're not where you want to be and you're doing all the thing and you've waited long enough to reap the harvest, but it's still not reaping the harvest, there's likely some other sabotage mechanism going on. If you've been at it for a really long time and it's still not working, there's something else going on. I want to serve you in this workshop. It's not a monologue. It's not about me coming on and like doing a teach and like espousing knowledge. I want to be able to serve you guys. So when you come in, be prepared. Like, what do you want to get out of the workshop? How can I serve you? What issues are you currently having? And we're going to do a deep dive for those 2 hours and we're going to pull them up by the root. So I'm really, really excited just to spend time with you and just to serve the heck out of you. So it's going to be a workshop for you, by you. So as soon as you get in there, we're going to say, why are you here? What do you want to get out of it? And then we're going to go to work. All right. So if you can relate to any of that, if you have some of that going on in your life that, there's something holding you back, internal dialogue, inner critic, outer critic, no partners, bad partner, come to the workshop.
Wow. Seriously, if you don't have partners right now, be at the workshop. Because if you're not trusting other people, if you're not thinking big enough to have other people in your life, come to the workshop. If
Julie,
you're right, if you're,
I see you, Julie. I'll see you tomorrow night, honey.
Hell yeah.
That would have been my exact question right now.
Tomorrow night or Monday night?
Always, Walter. Anticipate and delivers. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause. And I know there's some questions, so I definitely want to open it up to